Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please hide my own identity? So the traditional healer has since told us that we are supposed to buy a flower, in which we bought a flower at a supermarket now that we're staying here in South Africa in Spa. So this flower, we are keeping it in our bedroom. They told us to put water in that flower, but now this flower, it has been drinking all the water that we put inside of that jug, because we keep it in our bedroom in a jug, those plastic jugs. So we put 2 liters of water, but now it wants milk. Each and every day when my husband is returning back from work, he comes back with a 2-liter full of fresh milk, and we put it in there, and the flower drinks all of the fresh milk. So this is what happened for me and my husband to end up having this flower in our bedroom that drinks milk. My husband is 44 and I am 30. We have 3 kids. What happened was that I got married into the family that did not want me. My mother-in-law did not even want me at all. It was in the year 2022 when my daughter got so ill, and we did not even know what was going on with my daughter, why she was so sick like that. After she had recovered, that was when one amongst the boys, my boys that I gave birth to, fell ill, the one who was 10 years old. He was so sick and we did not even know what to do with him. He would complain and he would say that he had a very terrible headache. So at first we thought that maybe it was just a normal headache, but as time went on, that was when we discovered that there was something else that was going on, because when we would take him to the doctors, they would give us medication, but things will not get better, rather things will get so worse. So me and my husband, as people that went to church, even though we saw that the things that were happening, they were spiritual, but we did not want to look for help outside of the church. We believed that God was going to assist us through the church that we used to go to. But our son was so ill, so much that me and my husband, we ended up being desperate. We did not want to do this, but we went and consulted with a traditional healer, even though it went against each and everything that we believed in as Christians. But we went the African way of consulting with the dead, with the ancestors. And when we went there, that was when we were told that my husband's relatives, they were the ones that were using charms against my own son. I did not even want to believe that my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they were the ones that were using these charms against their own grandson. Why would they want to do things like that? But when the traditional healer told us the reason as to why they were using charms, I understood everything. I did not want to believe it. Even my husband did not even want to believe it. So they had made an oath with the devil. They did not want their son to get married to a woman like me. They wanted a woman whom they were going to choose for themselves. And when they saw that their son, my husband, had chosen a woman like me, that was when they agreed that the children that I was going to give birth to, amongst the children that I would have given birth to, they were going to choose one whom they were going to make a host for the tokoloshi, so that this tokoloshi can come and possess the body of the child that they would have chosen. And they chose my son. So this is how my mother and my father-in-law got the tokoloshi. Back in those days, like in the rural areas, there was too much witchcraft in our country. So if your neighbors will see that you are progressing in life and they did not like your progress, what they will do is that they will make sure that the spirit of poverty chases you so much that you will end up working for nothing. and they did not want to see anyone progressing in life. So my mother and my father-in-law, they were caught up in that situation. They had built their own home, but they were unable to progress in life. So that was when they went to a healer. When they went to a traditional healer, that was when they were told that they were going to be given some charms. These charms were going to protect them, but this charm was going to want something in return. And they chose that amongst their grandchildren, they were going to choose one amongst the grandchildren who was going to be a host that can be possessed whenever those tokoloshis felt like. So this traditional healer then said, we were supposed to do a go back to sender. I did not want to do a go back to sender, but we agreed with that traditional healer that it was best that we did a go back to sender because of the things that were happening to our son. So this is what used to happen to our son, Brother Nashi. Whenever he would say that he is having a headache, maybe he'll be like, let me go and sleep, mom. And I will say it is okay. He would go to bed, and 20 minutes later, when you will go to check on your child in his spare bedroom, you will find out that the child would have disappeared. If you ask anyone that will be at home with you, did you see him? Did you see my boy? Everyone will say, no, we did not see him anyway. Then all of a sudden, he will just appear in the room when you will be sitting. He will just appear in front of you. So when I would speak with my son, this is what my son used to say. When he would have gone to bed trying to relax, then he would see his grandmother that would come to him, and his grandmother will say, come, my grandson, let us go together. And then he will just disappear with his grandmother. We tried even changing the room so that he can start to sleep in another spare bedroom, thinking that maybe there was a curse in that other bedroom, a demonic curse. But no, it kept on happening. And sometimes he would say things that were like scary, and he would scream and he would say, Granny is here, grandmother is here, look at her, she came to collect me. And it will be so scary. As for his siblings, they were afraid to be around him because of the demonic possessions that used to happen, and him screaming that he wants to go and play with his grandmother. Even at school, the headmaster at the school where he used to go to even said that he was supposed to stop coming to school until we had sorted each and everything that was happening to him, because even his classmates, they were scared to come to school because you might be sitting in class with other kids, then all of a sudden you will just disappear. So the other kids, they were afraid of him, thinking that he was a demonic child. So he stopped going to school. His siblings were afraid of him. So this made my son to lose self-confidence. He was even afraid to speak with anyone. He would lock himself in the spare bedroom, not wanting to be with anyone. That was when me and my husband, we sat down and we had a discussion about this, because the charms we had been given by that traditional healer, and we did not want to use those charms. We were full of doubt. When we saw that this was what was happening to our son, we then made an agreement that we were going to use the charms. So after we had used the charms, we told the traditional healer, as the traditional healer had told us, my in-laws, they all died. They passed away. And after they had passed away, that was when we started to witness other demonic activities in our home. The traditional healer then told us to buy flowers. We went to this supermarket here in South Africa that is called Spar, and we bought some flowers. After we had bought some flowers, we bought that big plastic jug, and he told us to put it in our bedroom. And when we go to bed, we put water. We used to fill that jug with water so that the flowers won't die. But now what is happening is that these flowers, they no longer want the water. Rather, they want fresh milk. As for the traditional healer, he has told us not to throw it away, because this flower, according to him, is what is protecting us from the spirit of my in-laws because they want to come and fight with me because of the go back to sender that we did. This is my own confession, and I just want advice on what are we supposed to do. Dear listeners, right there was a translation of a message that I received. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Can you imagine? You go, you say that you want to do a go back to sender, but instead you end up having a flower that survives on fresh milk. Very soon it will want blood. That is the truth.